to our latest edition of Mr. Boon's cooking show with Mr. Delcher, and Miss Olivo is doing the camera work today. I had the freshmen, this past Wednesday was International Hummus Day.
Oh, one of my favorite holidays. So.
Is that better than Christmas or?
No. Well, Christmas is still on top, but it's like one of the
top five.
Like top five. Yes, top five.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Top 5 favorite holidays.
So, what exactly is hummus? Hummus basically is pureed chickpeas, garbanzo beans, with some other ingredients that are added, which we're going to discuss today, mainly tahini. All right. So, tahini.
Mr. Boone,
yes, Mr. Delcher.
Where does hummus originate from? Is it from America?
It's from the Mideast.
Mideast, okay.
Yes, Mideast.
So it's a Middle Eastern recipe.
Yes. That leads me to a good point. Let me just read this out loud. Making tahini at home is easy and much less expensive than buying from the store. Show us the jar of tahini that I bought this morning. All right. So that is pre-made tahini. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our own tahini. We're also going to use the store-bought tahini as well.
And this is one of the ingredients for the hummus?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So we recommend looking for sesame seeds in bulk bins or at the international Asian and Middle Eastern markets. So to answer your question, hummus is Asian, Middle Eastern.
Okay.
While tahini can be made from unhulled, sprouted, and whole sesame seeds, we prefer to use the whole sesame seeds for tahini. Tahini can be kept in the refrigerator for a month. Okay, So what exactly is tahini? Tahini is nothing more than sesame seeds, all right, slightly toasted, okay, and basically the addition of oil, olive oil, which is right behind you, Mr. Delcher.
The olive oil.
Okay.
Love me some olive oil.
All right, so to make the tahini, we are going to put the seeds in the food processor.
So we have our fancy Cuisinart that we've used in previous videos.
I'm going to use the rubber spatula. Because, All right, so you want to put all the sesame seeds into the food processor. Okay, Mr. Delcher, before you add that, we're going to pulverize the seeds.
Ah, okay.
Right? So put the lid on, Mr. Delcher.
And put the lid on.
You gotta break it first. You know we're live.
There we go.
Mr. Delcher.
I think it's on.
This is the.
Oh.
It's not the one. All right, it's okay.
You have a different one than mine.
Okay.
That I have at home.
You're okay with the on button though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're pulverizing the sesame seeds. Okay. You want to get them almost a powdery consistency. All right. You might also want to pulse it, Mr. Delcher. Pulse it goes like this.
Okay.
Okay.
You can kind of smell them.
Yeah. Nutty smell, but it doesn't contain any nuts whatsoever.
I kind of get that the toasty smell.
So it says here, add sesame seeds to the bowl of a food processor and process until a crumbly paste forms about a minute.
Ooh.
Right? So let's let that go a little bit longer. Okay? And then you're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil. Process for 2 to 3 minutes. Stop being scrape the sides and the bottom in the food processor. Alright, we want to check the consistency and make sure it's not gritty. And then we're also going to add a little bit of salt. Alright, so see how it's starting to almost
really break down.
stick together. Yeah. All right, so let's check it out. All right, as you can see, the seeds are now pulverized. Okay, so what we're going to add next is 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Big one.
Oh, it says 2 teaspoons.
I know, it's weird, right? I think I got it for free.
Probably from.
Hold on one second, I have an incoming call.
So 3 teaspoons, Mr.
3
Delcher,
tablespoons.
equals 1 tablespoon.
Hello?
What's that?
3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon.
Oh, probably put too much oil in this. Wait a minute. What did you say?
3 teaspoons equal 1 tablespoon.
Oh, so let's see. I need to put more in then.
Yeah.
I need to double this. If this is really a 2 teaspoon. Wait, how many teaspoons did you say?
It's a 3
Tablespoons.
tablespoons.
3
3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons would be 9 teaspoons.
9
2
teaspoons.
teaspoons.
That's that mental math drill.
I have to do a little less on culinary matters.
Not so good.
Okay, a little sprinkle of sea salt.
That looks very coarse.
It is very coarse, yeah.
And then put the lid back
The
on?
lid back on. You're getting much better at the lid. So close.
There we go,
Okay.
there we go. Pulse?
Let it rip. All right, leave that on for a second, Mr. Delcher. Let's hand me the tahini. And let's see if we can compare our consistencies here.
I think it's got a seal on it.
Okay, so the oil is on top. So what we need to do is give that a stir.
Stir it.
Mr. Delcher, you get a spoon. You see how the oil is sitting on top?
Yes. Gonna have to stir it.
Yes. So we're going to work that in. You can see the consistency that we're trying to achieve. Looks a little like pancake batter, doesn't it, Mr. Delcher?
I was gonna say like a peanut butter, like natural peanut butter.
Like natural peanut butter. True, true. So as you can see, the oil is blending in to the pulverized sesame seeds, and it should have a consistency like that when you're done. So let's see what you got. Almost exactly the same, Mr. Delcher. Yours is a little bit darker because I toasted the seeds a little bit longer.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how you make tahini, and take a little whiff of that. See if you can tell the difference in the scents.
Definitely. I can definitely tell because
You can
that
probably
has
just-
more of a toasty,
Yeah.
you know,
Let me
smell.
smell that one.
This one doesn't really.
No. You can tell that that's processed.
Yeah, this definitely is not as toasted as. Yeah, this is probably not as toasted as those.
Okay, so we're gonna cut it up. We're gonna cut right there. We're gonna take this out of the food processor, and then we're gonna talk about making the hummus. Okay,
All right.
we'll be right back. We are back. Now we're gonna make the traditional hummus. Okay, so some of the students, Madison, Abigail, Virtue,
Hello there.
Amalia,
Nice to
Yara,
see you.
and Alex all submitted traditional hummus recipes. So this is the recipes. This is the recipe that most of the students that I just named submitted. So we're gonna show you guys how to make the traditional hummus.
Stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mr. Delcher, while we were away, he opened up the 2 cans of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. He rinsed them off. All right, and Mr. Delcher, the reason why you rinsed them off is because
We wanted to rinse off the high sodium liquid that was preserving them inside the can.
Right, so you rinse them off to get rid of the sodium content. Now some recipes, let's see if we can see that. So if you want to make your hummus a little bit more smoother, all right, you could take off this like outer skin. You see the skin right here? You see this shell? All right, but we're not gonna go through every single chickpea, you know.
That would require us
unless
to
you got
take
nothing better
a
to
lot
do.
of time. Right.
So if you want to make it a little bit more smoother and creamier in texture, then you would remove this shell, all right, and then this is the part you would use. There's nothing wrong with eating it. Probably,
I'm not that bored.
Most definitely, probably gives you more nutrients and vitamins, keeping the shell on.
Okay.
All right. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of two 15-ounce cans. So Mr. Delcher, I'm sorry, not 2 15-ounce cans. Not 2 cups, but 2 15-ounce cans. So you can put all that in.
Cans. So this is 2 15-ounce cans.
Correct.
Of chickpeas.
Okay, to that you're going to add 1/4 cup of the tahini. So let's do a combo. How about that? We'll do 2 teaspoons. So Mr. Delcher, before we go any further, you are going to do 1/4 cup. So how many tablespoons is that?
It's going to be 4 tablespoons.
Excellent. So you're going to use 2 tablespoons of our homemade and 2 tablespoons of the store-bought.
You got it.
Okay?
So let me start off with our 2 tablespoons of our fresh made.
Okay, while Mr. Delcher is putting in that, a little while ago, I roasted off some garlic here. All right? So all I did was wrapped it in foil, put it on about 400 degrees, and I roasted them probably for about a half hour. You can see how nice and tender they are. They're going to be nice and soft. It'll easily process in the food processor. So this recipe calls for 2 cloves. All right, so each one of these pieces is called the clove. And all the cloves put together is called the bulb. All right, so this calls for 2 cloves of garlic. I like it a little more garlicky, Mr. Delcher, so I'm going to add 3.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so we have the chickpeas, we have the tahini, we have the garlic. The next thing it calls for Mr. Delcher is fresh squeezed lemon juice.
Oh.
And it's very important and taste-wise to use the fresh lemons. So I have a little strainer for you, Mr. Delcher. And I have this little thing over here. All right, why did you just do that, Mr. Delcher? Why did you roll
I don't know. I always see the chefs on the TV do it.
helps release the juices easier.
Oh.
Right. So what you're doing was correct, even though you didn't know it.
I didn't. I've just been watching a lot of you know.
I know. You tell me about it all the time.
Food Network shows.
Yes. You're on the road with Guy Fieri every night. I call you in the back seat.
Or watching him run around his fake grocery store.
Yeah, yeah. So we need a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, a teaspoon of ground cumin. So while you're doing that, we're going to add that's curry. Whew, don't want to do that. Okay, ground cumin. Do you need another lemon?
I might need another lemon.
Okay, here you go. All right, I'm going to grab the spoons. Remember, when you are measuring something, you don't want to have a heaping amount like this. You want to try to, use the back of the knife. In this case, I'm just going to use my finger. And I want to make sure it's level, okay? Add it in. All right, otherwise, if you do a heaping amount of anything you're using, it's not going to be accurate in your measurements. Okay. And a teaspoon of kosher salt. All right, I'm going to use the sea salt again. Okay. And what do you think, Mr. Delcher? So this is a full cup. So using your estimation. Do you think that's enough? So halfway would be a half a cup. So I think you're almost there.
I'm almost there.
So where's your
There's a half cup mark in there. It says I think I'm at the quarter. I think I'm at the 1/3 line.
Okay, so let's measure it out. Use your little blue measuring tablespoon.
Oh,
Just rinse it off.
let me rinse it off.
Did you get enough sleep last night, Mrs. Dutch? You're off a little today.
Just a different day.
Okay. Mrs. Dutch,
We had a busy day this morning,
while
Mr.
we-
Boone.
While we
It's been a
are
busy week.
while we are having a moment here, what do you do to keep yourself busy during this quarantine?
Oh, I've been coming to make videos with you,
True.
taking care of the animals,
True.
watching the Food Network.
Tell everyone about the bees you and Miss O are doing.
Miss O and I have been taking care of the bees at Pain Tech.
And what does that mean, taking care of the bees?
We go every couple of weeks, check, open the beehive up, check them, see if they're moving around, making honey, collecting pollen, reproducing, putting in new, babies and eggs and stuff.
You showed me one of your videos, and you were spraying them with this powdery substance. What was that? It was like a...
Oh, Miss O and I were using a smoker.
Smoker,
So
okay.
bees respond to smoke, and they kind of become a little bit more docile and kind of easy to work with. They kind of calm down from the smoke.
I got you. Okay. So once we resume back to school, the students are going to be...
They're going to be the Pain Tech students are going to be working with Miss O, taking care of the bees.
That's
Some
great.
of them have already been professionally trained by several local beekeepers. So
The bees or the students?
the bees.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, the students
The
have been trained
students.
by a local beekeeper.
We have 2
Right.
certified beekeepers.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, so how many tablespoons of
4 tablespoons
4
is a quarter of a
tablespoons.
cup, so you're going to use 4 tablespoons once again.
Okay. So
Okay, and I think that's about it. We have the lemon juice, the chickpeas, tahini, cumin, garlic, olive oil. Do we have olive oil?
Oh, we didn't put in olive oil.
Okay, we did that previously. Okay, so you need
Olive oil was in the tahini.
we need a half a cup of extra virgin
All right, so
olive oil.
there was 4 tablespoons.
Perfect. All right, so you're gonna fill this up halfway and add the olive oil to that.
Halfway, add more olive oil.
Okay.
So, Mr. Boone, since this
Yes,
is
Miss
a
O.
Mediterranean
Yes.
recipe, I noticed you didn't use any fresh herbs. But do you think if they were available, that you would add them into the recipe?
Definitely. Most likely fresh parsley.
Fresh parsley.
Yeah, fresh parsley. I would definitely add. This recipe didn't call for any. These are the recipes that the students submitted. But yeah, normally I would add some fresh
You said
parsley
half
to it.
cup, right?
Half a cup, yes.
There's so many different variations
Oh,
of
there
hummus.
is, yeah. And as you can see, I mean, we're going, slow for a reason here, but this really doesn't take that long to do, and it definitely is a lot fresher when you make it yourself. Most of the hummuses that you see at the store do have preservatives in them, so
Right.
so they last longer. The shelf life is longer, at the grocery store. But this can very easily be made at home, and even if you don't have the tahini, as long as you have sesame seeds and some olive oil and garlic, I mean, you can make your own hummus quite easily.
And the hummus is a very good protein substitute.
Right now, Miss O, this would be vegan, then I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you can see, this is one of the dishes that we're making that is vegan and can be consumed by those people whom are vegetarian. Okay, Mr.
Is that
Delcher,
everything?
got everything. All right.
Let me try it this time.
All right. Third time usually a charm.
There we go. All right.
All right. Let her rip.
Post or no post?
Now, as Mr. Delcher is processing that, the most important thing when you're making anything, and we talked about this previously, is you got to make sure you taste something before you serve it to your guests. So I'm going to grab a couple tasting spoons. All right, remember, one of the things that we have to talk about is you're going to have to stop the machine, take off the cap, and you're going to get your rubber spatula. You can rinse it off. It's in the sink. All right.
There we go.
And
And you're
scrape
going to
the
scrape
bowl.
it down and repeat the process.
To the scraper?
So this is what our hummus looks like.
Now, as you can see, the consistency, it's still a little grainy, but one of the videos that I think two of the students sent me, now wipe that down. All right, calls for adding some water. All right, the water will make it creamier as well. So, Mr. Delcher, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of water to this right now.
Mr. Delcher and Mr. Boon, do you think you could have added some of the liquid from the chickpeas too?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Most definitely.
Should I have just saved the chickpea?
Well, it's okay.
Okay.
It's down the drain, so.
That's all right.
So it says here, if the mixture is too thick, add some of the reserved chickpea liquid. 2 tablespoons at a time.
It's almost like reserving the pasta water.
Very true, very true. All right, so we added 2 tablespoons already. Let's check the consistency.
Whoa, that's looking really good.
It is, it is. What do you think?
Looks good.
A little creamier?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think we should add 1 more tablespoon, Mr. Delcher.
1 more?
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. I asked the students during yesterday's assignment, what would you serve this with? Some students said salami, grapes, almost like you put this on an antipox. A couple other students said tortilla chips, and then one student in particular also said you could use fresh vegetables.
Yes.
You know, so many ways you can serve this. So this is your basic roasted garlic hummus recipe.
I like eating hummus with a red bell pepper, like fresh red bell
Oh,
pepper.
yeah. All right, so let's give it a try. So Delcher, your spoon is right there. I only use it to mix it.
Can you taste it?
No.
Okay.
Wow, that's really good. You can taste the nutty flavor, even though it doesn't contain nuts.
Of the tahini.
Yeah. You see the smoothness?
Mm.
All right, so there you have it. Homemade
It tastes
hummus.
a lot better than the stuff from the store.
It sure does. All right, so Mr. Delcher, you're going to take your rubber spatula, and we're going to take out about half of that.
Okay.
Another student of mine, Align.
Align.
Hello, Align. He wanted us to try jalapeno hummus.
Oh.
All right, so you need a container, a bowl?
I need a bowl.
Bowl's right over there. All right, so Align is a freshman as well. And so all we're going to do with the hummus that we already made, so it's the basic hummus recipe with the addition of roasted jalapenos, which are right over here. Okay, split them in half, roast them in the oven at 425 degrees, salt, pepper, olive oil, nice and soft. Roast them in the oven for approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Kind of like how we did those other grilled vegetables in the upcoming grilled vegetable recipe.
That's right, that's right. So as you can see, I got some brownness. That should be good.
Is that good? Here, I'm going to take out one. There we go.
All right, so that's about half.
That's about half.
All right, now the hard part is putting that back on so the see how the blade tries to pop up?
Yep.
All right, so let's move that off to the side. We're going to take the jalapenos and we're going to remove the seeds.
Why would we remove the seeds, Mr. Boone? I love
You want to add the
spicy
seeds?
jalapenos.
We can add the seeds to it.
But I'm just curious, why would you remove the seeds.
Well, the seeds does give it a spicier flavor, so.
Right.
So, well, the recipe says to remove them, though. That's the recipe that the students submitted. But you know what? You're right. We'll add them in. Okay?
I think that's going to be really hot.
We'll take out half the
Well, we'll
seeds.
take
How
out-
about
yeah,
that?
there we
Michelle?
go.
Half the seeds. We'll compromise.
I think Miss Old likes
Okay.
spicy.
Okay. Same deal. Turn on your food processor. Delcher, get us 2 more tasting spoons, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm trying to run out of stuff.
So this recipe says to serve with pita bread or tortilla chips.
I love pita bread, huh?
I can see why you had a problem getting this off now.
Oh, isn't there like a click?
There we go.
The lock was on.
Okay. So here we
Spoon?
go. This is the jalapeno hummus.
You better take a tiny taste of that.
Mmm. I like this one even better. Not too much heat, right?
No.
What kind of peppers? Jalapenos?
Yeah.
Jalapenos.
So jalapenos I don't think are too hot.
No. Not even getting a little, very much
I'm
heat
not really
at
getting
all.
much heat at all.
No.
Me personally, I would probably, Mr. Boon
In fact,
roasted, I'd probably throw those other
I think
three.
we should probably throw the rest of those in
in,
because
no?
we're not getting enough heat.
Because I'm not getting heat really.
All right, so
I
we're
got
gonna
like
the rest of those in.
I got like a really small tint of heat, Mr. Boone, and then it kind of like dissipated like fast.
I think that you need to look at the levels of heat when you're talking about peppers.
Okay, Mr. Delcher.
Oh, that might be another good assignment.
True.
But you know what? Jalapenos can vary in neatness.
Yes.
Sometimes there are jalapenos that you could get a jalapeno that's not really hot at all. But then you could get another jalapeno that would be super spicy.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Moore?
True. Very true.
And it's really all how that plant develops that spiciness, and also kind of how that plant grows and develops that pepper.
Okay, let's try it again. You can see how the color is changing. It has like a little green,
It's a greenish
like
color?
a green tint to it now.
Yeah, it does have a greenish tint.
Spicier?
Yeah, better. Get a little heat afterwards. Still not overpowering though.
No. I'm starting to taste a little bit more.
You taste a little bit.
Yeah, now I'm
afterwards,
starting to get a little.
All right, so we're gonna stop the video there. We have one more student who actually made a little variation of the hummus. This student gave me a recipe here for. This is Elibeth. Elibeth Crespo, grilled chicken, Greek grilled chicken, and hummus wrap. All right, so we're gonna clean up a little bit. We're gonna get the wraps ready. Right behind Mr. Delcher, I already grilled off some chicken. All right, so give us a couple minutes, and we're gonna make this final recipe of our segment. All right, Mr. Delcher, we'll be right back.
Right back.
Okay. Elibeth sent me her assignment, which was she decided to make Greek grilled chicken and hummus wrap. She decided to submit that, so we're gonna put it together for you today, Elibeth, and everybody else is gonna, hopefully watch the video. I already pre-cooked the chicken. All right.
That's a nice looking chicken.
Yeah, tenderized it. Mr. Delcher, remember the reason why we tenderize? Why did we tenderize poultry or other meats? Using the mallet. Remember the mallet, meat mallet?
Yes. In order so that it gets an even cook.
Correct. So we want it, as you can see, the thickness is about the same from one end to the other. All right, so it'll cook evenly from one end to the other as well. So all those breasts will cook. All those breasts did cook at the same time. All right, so Mr. Delcher, we have our mise en place out over here. All right, this calls for 6 tablespoons of Greek vinaigrette dressing. Okay, so I
Okay.
bought this dressing at the health food store this morning. I'm gonna put some of the dressing in here. I'm gonna cut up the chicken, and I'm gonna let the chicken marinate in the dressing for a few minutes.
Okay.
While I'm doing that, you're gonna take this feta cheese. Why don't you show that to everyone?
Nice, delicious.
Okay.
Feta?
So you're gonna cut that open, and you're gonna break it. You're gonna crumble it. All right, in a bowl.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna crumble that up. I'm gonna do the chicken. Let me put on a pair of gloves. Mr. Delcher, while we were at the break, you were talking about my younger son sleeping till 3:30 in the afternoon. So I know some of you freshmen and other grade levels out there are I'm sure, doing the same thing. And
We hope you're watching us at
we
all hours
hope
of the
you get
night.
an opportunity to watch us because, later on tonight, he will be yelling and screaming and playing Xbox like I'm sure some of you will be doing as well. All right, so he's kind of like nocturnal.
Like many of you probably watching
Yes.
Mr. Boon and I
So I
make
have a
this
son as
food
well who is doing the same thing.
in the evening.
He will wake up pretty soon, and then he'll stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning and repeat the process.
Understand.
Sometimes when we get up in the morning, he goes to bed. So, but of course he logged in and then went to bed, back to bed. So you're not the only ones who are going through that process. All right, so Mr. Delcher is crumbling the chicken. The feta. I'm gonna take the chicken. You see how it falls apart? It just kind of crumbles.
Very easily.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the chicken breasts and I'm gonna cut them on a bias. All right, bias means I'm gonna cut them on an angle. All right, and the reason why I'm cutting those is because cutting it like this is because we're gonna put it into a wrap. Okay. So I'm gonna do 2 breasts just to show everyone, how to make the wrap. All right, so angle your knife. Okay, and I'm gonna pour in some of the Greek vinaigrette dressing right over here. All right, Mr. Delcher, you are going to peel the cucumber while I'm doing that. All right, so as you can see, this is not a permanent emulsion. Why? Because the oil is on top and the vinegar and the herbs, they're down here. So this is called a semi-permanent emulsion. So we want to shake it first. Remember we talked about this a few weeks ago between permanent and semi-permanent emulsions? Mr. Delcher?
The semi-permeant means it's separates.
Separates, yes. And a permanent
And a
emulsion.
permanent emulsion will stay together pretty much
Permanently.
all the time, permanently. Kind of like, so an example of semi-permeable is this vinaigrette that we're using right now. And
Right.
a permanent would be like ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing or
French.
Thousand Island.
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese. Okay, so I poured the dressing over the chicken, and I'm gonna let that marinate for a few minutes. All right, Mr. Delcher is
How am I
peeling
doing
the
with
cucumber.
this cucumber?
Excellent job.
I like this device. How's that?
That's good. That's good.
We'll move that out of the way.
All right, so the other thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna dice that up. So, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut off the pieces that you didn't peel all the way. All right, so I'm gonna cut them into strips this way. Try to keep your sizes all the same. Remember the claw method. Okay, and just to make one wrap, I'm gonna use two pieces. Okay. Okay, keep it together the whole time. And there you have diced pieces of a cucumber. All right, Mr. Delcher, want to get a bowl? Okay, and we're gonna also shred the lettuce. This is romaine lettuce. I already cleaned it. Let's get another plate for this one. Just keep it out of our way.
Yep.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is, and I think we showed this to you guys before, cut it lengthwise down the middle. Remove the core.
Not too long ago, he died.
Okay. Take out the core. Put that off to the side. Remember, flat side goes down. Okay. And we're gonna shred the lettuce. Okay. And the motion, rock the knife back and forth. Okay, and there you have shredded romaine lettuce. So as you can see, I mean, you know, when you make stuff like this, you want to make sure that you have all your mise en place organized. The other thing we have to cut is tomatoes. Let me just see what the recipe says here. Tomatoes are going to be diced as well. But you know what? I'm going to slice them because it'll be easier to put in the wrap. Okay, so I want to try to slice them as thin as possible because when you make the wrap, it'll be much easier. If I take a big chunk like this, it'll be much harder to roll up the wrap. All right, so I'm going to do... I'll do 5 slices, just so we can demonstrate how to make the wrap. There we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have these organic whole wheat wraps. They have many varieties of wraps at the grocery store. You want to make sure you get one that's large enough. I believe this is an 8-inch. Okay, you take your wrap. And the first thing you're going to do, well, let's see what the recipe says. To assemble the wrap, you're going to spread the hummus down over the tortilla, top with chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, and feta cheese, and then we're going to roll it up. Okay, so I'm going to take my rubber spatula, take my hummus, and this is almost like when you remember in school when we made other fajita wraps. I usually put mayonnaise on the top half
Or mustard, you know, depending on what you're doing.
And why did we put that on there?
So that it can seal the wrap.
Right, so we want to make it seal together. So that's what the hummus is doing. So instead of using mayonnaise, Miss Olivo mentioned that there's times where she uses hummus instead of mayonnaise.
Right.
All right, so that's kind of what we're doing now. All right, so you want to brush that over it. Okay, then we're going to take our chicken. All right, so you want to start a little bit, I would say a third of the way up. Okay, lay our chicken across, like that. Okay, then some shredded lettuce. Okay, we take our tomatoes, and actually I'm going to cut them in half again. So this would be called a half moon. Okay, we're going to lay them across, keeping everything together. All right, followed by some cucumber. Okay, followed by our feta cheese.
This is kind of like a deconstructed, like gyro.
Yeah,
or a different type of way to do a gyro, except we don't have tzatziki.
Correct. So anyway, if this was a little bit larger, it'd probably be easier to wrap, but you know, I bought these at the health food store this morning. So what you want to do is you want to grab it by the ends, and you want to roll it like this, and you want to tuck it and roll, tuck and roll, and you want to put the seam down like that. Okay. Okay. This is a whole wheat tortilla. A flour tortilla would be more pliable. Okay, so Mr. Delcher, are you ready to sample?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to cut you a piece. And as you can see, all those flavors are all together. You have the chicken, the feta cheese, the cucumber, tomatoes, all wrapped together. And there you have it.
Very good, Mr. Boone.
Good,
Very
good. So this is a lot healthier. The whole wheat wrap, the grilled chicken, something that you could serve, you know, for dinner. I know a lot of us we're approaching the summer season. This is something that's
This would be great for a hot summer day.
on a hot summer day. Yeah. So I mean, besides grilling the chicken, you don't need a lot of time in front of the oven or on the grill, whatever it may be. You can even make this. You can even grill off the chicken in advance. So. So freshmen, there will be some questions following the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for the recipes. Thank you for submitting all your different ideas. We're going to do some other things like this in the future, so when you keep submitting this stuff, Mr. Delcher and I, Miss Olivo, are going to continue to make some of the stuff that you submitted to us. So
we love the suggestions. Huh?
Yeah, it keeps us going, and we hope everyone is doing well, and we want to keep you going as well, and hopefully you'll spend some time to watch the videos and don't sleep till 4 o'clock in the afternoon like my son. All right. Mr. Delcher, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Take care, everyone, and we will see you next week.